Natural Park, Cabo de Gata. The Natural Park of Cabo de Gata is certainly the jewel of the province. The only semi-desert natural park within the European continent. It covers about 40,000 hectares, plus 1 mile out to sea. The salt beds date back from the Roman period, maybe even earlier, and they still obtain sea salt, approximately 40,000 tons per year, by evaporating the seawater. The former village of the Salinas workers even had its own church. Now only few houses are inhabited. Machines have replaced the workers. The salt beds are a preferred location for all kinds of seabirds, such as the pink flamingos. The phoenix, the legendary bird that was reborn from the ashes in the golden The old watermill reminds us of the eternal lack of water and how the people had to learn a wise use of wells, watermills, and rainwater deposits for the water supplies. Some of the old windmills along the park have been restored for tourist or private use. San Jose is the only big village within the reserve. It has a marina, and the two most famous beaches of the region are located nearby, Genoveses and Monsoon. The fossil dune at Los Escudillos is ghostly shaped. The castle of St. Philip was built in the 18th century on this rock. It is one of a series of fortifications along the coastline used as a defense against the constant pirate attacks. The village of Isleta del Moro dates back from this period. They say that some of the pirates stayed here forever. Much later, the fishermen of the village supplied the fish for the families of the gold miners in Rodalquilar when they lived there during the gold rush. Nowadays, the village makes its living from a fish farm and from tourism. The valley of Rodalquilar is an enormous caldera, the crater of a volcano, characterized by a variety of spectacularly colored rocks. The former gold mines bring us back to the gold rush between 1880 and 1960. The circular tanks were used to wash millions of tons of sand to get some grains of gold, while the mud was left covering the valley. Rodalquilar is set of the administration of the reserve and lives from tourism whilst waiting for the former miners' village to be transformed into a center of ecotourism. Passing by the beach of Rodalquilar, we reach the white village of Las Negras. The traditional architecture of flat roofing remains even in the most modern houses. This natural park is protected by UNESCO as a reserve of the biosphere due to its diversity of fauna and flora. Until now, more than 1,000 varieties of flora have been found. However, the majority disappears during the dry periods. The American agaves, however, are an example of introduced and adapted plants. They cultivated the agaves on a large scale since the 40s for the sisal production destined for the textile industry of northern Spain. Another adapted plant is the opuntia or Ficus indica, which is actually used to fix the slopes.